Hello, hello. Let me fiddle with some things. Hi, hello, welcome back to this spot. I also love that, like, boom, 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 boom. It makes me feel like a superhero, which is very cool. Mods, could we get an audio check on this music? I feel like it's been weird this morning. It's like, I feel like it's quieter than normal, but it's showing up fine on my levels, so you should hear some soft jazz, and if you don't, scream. Music is quiet? Okay, so it's not just me? Okay, cool. We fix. Not just me. Is that too loud? That looks too loud now. Hear the loud Barb, what? Barb, what are we saying now? That's good? Okay, cool. Cool. Let me turn it up for me then. So I too, sorry you heard my computer sound. So I too can hear the smooth jazz. Aren't we always wondering what Barb is saying? That's so true. Also, I have tea today, and I don't have a good spot to put it. So over or under on me spilling this and ruining the entire puzzle, because I think it's not out of the question. Cool. Welcome in, Brian. It's good to see you. Adrift, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, in and out of focus moment. It makes me feel like Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome in, and I hope you all had a lovely week. Hopefully no spills, but no promises. No promises. I think it is highly likely today. We'll rate T her puzzle. Was it beyond? What is it? Before lunch? Okay, all right. I got some time then. It may be too early, but is Czech Games Edition planning on being at BGGCon this year? I think, yes. I would say with 80% certainty that we have a presence at BGGCon this year. I will not be there, but I believe we will have a booth. It's like magic, except it's technology. It's cool though. It's so cool. I mean, I spent so much of the early days of this channel wrestling with my autofocus for God knows what reason. And now it's working, and now I wield it to my will. Plenty of time to shamefully ask Tony for another puzzle. Yeah. Oh no, it's all foggy. Oh God. Oh jeez. Oh Jesus. Technology is magic. This is very true. Also, welcome on in, everybody. James Blake, it's good to see you. I'm sorry you missed the bird stream yesterday, but that's okay. There will be more bird streams in the future. Barb and Alkaline Chicken, of course. Welcome on in. Who else do we have in here this morning? Talier, it's good to see you, Talier. It's good to see you. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's been a hot second. Hope you're doing well. Jeremiah Blob, welcome on in. Good morning. Kit Kat, hello. How's it going? Nadi, hello. Arleo, welcome on in. Happy Friday. Everyone, how's your week been? How's everybody doing? How are we feeling? I need to not balance this like right where I'm balancing it. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm very excited for the weekend. I've got company tonight, which is a little bit stressful. We got some new med school student friends coming over tonight. We're gonna play some board games. I think I'm gonna introduce them to, I think Seven Wonders is gonna be my introductory game for them. They've played a couple of games already. They played other games of a similar weight. They said they've played, again, Betrayal at House on the Hill. I know so many people who, like, one of their first, 5 games they've played is Betrayal at House on the Hill, and I still don't get that. It's not an entry-weight game, in my opinion. But they've played that. They've played, The Resistance. They've played, I think, God, what else did they mention? Mysterium, that type of game. So I'm gonna try, and they played something that was a little bit heavier. And now I'm blanking on what it was. But I think Seven Wonders will be fun. Yeah, see, it's not about the age of it, James, because, Betrayal's been around for a very long time. I don't think there's no way it's older than Catan. I don't believe. I believe it's been around for a long time, but I am not confident in saying it's older than Catan. But to me, I talked about this a bunch. Is Betrayal in 2nd edition now? I don't know. See, okay, here's the thing. Yeah, I would be very, very surprised if it was pre, the modern board game renaissance, which in my head started with Catan. It's not that I don't like it. It's a great game. I just know a lot of people, I know a lot of people who started playing board games with Betrayal, and for me, I just don't find that game very beginner friendly. Entirely because it is asymmetric, and it's surprise asymmetry, and I've played Betrayal at House on the Hill with folks where the new person ends up being the bad guy. What's happening? The new guy ends up being the bad guy, and then, yeah, I'm not disembodied today, but I totally forgot we had a command for me. Okay, so yeah, it's around the same time. It's 2 years after Catan. Okay, that makes sense. I've had the person who's new get stuck reading a rule book by themselves, and that I find not fun. But the thing is that I think I'm in the minority, because again, I know a ton of people who got into board games with Betrayal and are like, oh, I love that game where there's a secret traitor and we're all in a mansion. They love it. They're like, oh, it was a great game. So I think it's me. I think I'm the problem somehow. But yeah, I'm gonna try Seven Wonders. I think that's gonna be, I mean, Seven Wonders can be hit or miss, but I think the weight is right. So, Sean was 1995. God, I want to do like a board game trivia or something, like about all board games in general. I think it'd be really fun. Zonda, thank you for the 300 biddies. Welcome on in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a lovely Friday. Thank you for supporting the moderators with those 300 biddies. I also have missed so very much in chat. Give me a hot second. It's early. I just woke up. Everyone give me a second to read all of the wonderful thoughts everyone has in chat. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Welcome back, Rolling Reggie. It's good to see you again. Hi again, CG person with a really cool style. Thank you. I feel like I wear the same thing every day, so I'm glad that you have the illusion of me having any sense of personal style. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Hornus, welcome on in. It's good to see you. Alka says, I'm moving this weekend. That's right. Moving sucks. I'm so sorry. I hope you get through this, well. I hope you have somebody to help you at some point in the process, whether that be packing, unpacking, or the driving part, because moving all by yourself is extra suckage. So I hope that's okay. I feel for you. Moving is the absolute worst. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope it goes as smoothly as possible when it comes to the moving. Oh, nice, Talia. I'm glad you got to introduce your friends and family to some Netrunner. That's awesome. Hell yeah. I got a game from Kickstarter this week, and I want to get my folks to play it with me, but we're in the awkward time of the year where the sunny deck takes priority. Yes, board gaming often is a seasonal hobby for a lot of folks. So yeah, I feel that we have to, as the people who want our family and friends to play board games with us, we have to start competing with the weather and people wanting to go outside and be active. It's very annoying. It's honestly quite rude. Headbanging Maniac, welcome on in. How's it going? I have Betrayal D&D version. Oh, that's cool. I always kind of have, I don't know, classed Betrayal in my head as like a D&D adjacent game. It has similar like movement and you've got your own stats, kind of like D&D for board gamers, you know, for like early board gamers. How many ages are there in TTA? You stop that, James. I will not stand for that. Oh, good morning, Father Pie. I love you. I love the idea of getting a life uniform. I was one of those people who was very jealous of people who had uniforms in high school, because I get a lot of anxiety around what I wear. Like in theory, I get how dressing yourself is an expression, and I like that concept. Like I like to play The Sims. My favorite part of playing The Sims is dressing up my characters. I love describing my outfits in great detail when I'm playing a character in D&D, but then when it comes to me in real life, I don't like it. I want to have a uniform. It's why I wear I feel like I used to try to wear more creative things on stream, and then I started wearing kind of the same shirts all the time. Like the turtlenecks and these types of shirts. I just I like to not have to think about it when I'm about to be on stream. I feel like in my off-camera life, maybe I'm a little bit more adventurous. I don't know. Morning, the most unique game I've ever played is Modern Art. Oh yes, question of the day today, it's also the title of the stream, is tell me about the most unique board game you've ever played, and you can kind of take that however you want, define unique however you feel like it. Modern Art is a great answer though, Rolling Reggie. Maybe a boring answer, but it really blew my mind as a board game. Yeah, I think my favorite types of board games are ones that redefine sort of what a game can be and what being a board game means. And Modern Art definitely does that. DBX Runner, welcome in. Hola to you as well. Question of the day, would you count TTRPGs as board games? I would say just board games. Like true true board games, no role playing, because honestly, because if you start to include TTRPGs, it becomes an unfair fight. Because TTRPGs, I think there's a lot more, oh man, it's unfair. There's a lot of creativity in TTRPGs because there's just it's a little bit of a weirder field. There's more freedom. There's more kind of eccentric stuff happening in TTRPGs because there's fewer rules on what a TTRPG is versus what a board game is. So I would stick, this question is about a board game. Like there are boards, there are cards, or there is like, it doesn't involve role playing, Oh, Alice is missing as the answer if I did allow TTRPGs is great. Alice is missing is fantastic. But like that, I don't know. There's more, I don't know, opportunity for creativity when it comes to TTRPGs, or maybe that field just attracts more eccentric minds, so they're just built different. But I feel like there's more constraints on board games than TTRPGs. Welcome on in, Per Dios No Play. Welcome to the CGE channel. Sorry, it's too early. I can't talk. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a lovely Friday. Feel free to jump in chat and say hey, or just vibe and lurk, whatever you feel like. We're not like other girls. TTRPGs probably. Yeah, 100%. They're built different. Oh, Kit Kat. I've heard of So You've Been Eaten, but I've never played it. But I've definitely heard that name before. Ooh, Dungeon Drop is a great answer, DBX. What I'm playing now, welcome on in, friend. Happy Friday, how's it going? Thank you for joining us, welcome. Jeremiah says, at this point, every game I used to think of as unique is no longer as unique and most likely have been innovated upon. So my answer has to be from the past. Scotland Yard was the first one versus many game I played. Yes, yeah, absolutely. And it was after I became familiar with co-ops. Absolutely, that one, there's still not a lot of games that fit that one versus many mold, and I wish there were more. That kind of goes hand in hand with like hidden movement. Two things I wish we saw more in board games. I love one versus many, or just like asymmetric teams, and hidden movement, and they're often tied together. But yeah, TTRPG is built different, built diffy. But yeah, no, I definitely get that. It does, the thing is that every time I start to get in that rut, Jeremiah, where I'm like, oh, everything I thought was unique no longer feels unique, something new does come along. Someone always has a new idea and brings something fresh to the industry. Welcome on in, Kama. It's good to see you. Welcome on in. How's it going? Ooh, Zolkin, thank you for that, Hornus. Zolkin definitely was, like, when it came out, the concept of, if you've never played Zolkin, it's got these, like, plastic moving discs that sort of represent, like, the Mayan calendar, and it's a worker placement, but the idea is you put your worker on one of the like, bits of this plate, and it spins, and, like, when you take them off is when you take the action. That was definitely, like, revolutionary when it came out. There were not a lot of, like, board games that also involved, like, physical hardware like that. Tomorrow we are going to surprise the kiddo with a day all about them, just because. Gonna get their favorite breakfast and lunch. And then go to the Mario movie. Shut up, Arleo. That's really cute. I hope your kiddo has a great day. That's awesome. Yeah, we went to, oh, wait, I have an update. Oh my God. Have I not talked about this on stream? Oh my God, sorry, Arleo unlocked a core memory that I cannot believe it's already the weekend and I haven't talked about it. Update? Last weekend, wow. Oh, I think it's because Tuesday we didn't have Eleni. I had James, who was a great stand-in Eleni. But typically when Eleni's here on Tuesdays, we chit-chat more about like our week, and we had James, and it was just, I didn't think about it, but I saw, did I talk about this? I genuinely can't remember. I saw the Dungeons & Dragons movie last weekend. That's what I want to talk about, because Arleo was mentioning the Mario movie. Also, Pagmitten, it's nice to meet you. Welcome to the Jack Games Edition Twitch channel. Feel free to jump in chat and say hey, or just lurk, whatever you feel like. And if you're new around here, we make board games. All the games you can see behind me are games that we've made. My name is Ray. I run this Twitch channel. We talk about board games, we play board games, our board games, and otherwise. It's a nice little board game show we got here. But Arlielle unlocked this because she mentioned the Mario movie, and our local theater currently has 2 movies showing. 2, because it's very tiny. We have the D&D movie, and we have the Mario movie. And we had a friend over last weekend, and this was a person who was in our D&D group. So when I was living in Scranton, we had like a medical student Dungeons and Dragons group, and she was one of the ones who was in our group, along with myself and my partner, one other person. And we all went to see the Dungeons and Dragons movie because I saw people talking online about going to see the movie like with their D&D party in real life. I was like, oh, that's so cute. And one of our D&D members happened to visit us the weekend it was like in theaters. So we went to go see it, and it was amazing. And I also really want to go see the Mario movie. However, it was mobbed with children. There were so many children. It was wild. There were like maybe 10 people in the theater to see D&D, and they were all adults. Surprising number of older people, like senior citizen older people. And then it was just hordes of children to see the Mario movie. So I'm scared now. I might have to wait because I don't like children. And I was a little scared by that proposition, but it could kind of be fun. I don't know, to watch the Super Mario movie in like a theater full of children screaming. I think that could have a weird charm to it. I'm not sure. But anyways, Arlielle, I'd love to know what you think about the Mario movie after you see it. And if you've seen it in chat, tell me your no spoiler. Wait, Ray doesn't like children? Madness. It's a shock. I know. I seem like I'd be so good with children. If anyone's seen it, I would love a no spoiler. I'd love a no spoiler review of the Mario movie. And Pagminton, thank you for joining us in chat. I've played many of your games. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad you found us here on Twitch. I'd love to know what your favorite CGE game is, or just your favorite board game in general. It's a really good way to get to know new folks in the community. Timothy Jackman, happy Friday. Welcome on in, friends. Good to see you. But yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the Dungeons and Dragons movie because it slapped. It was so good. It was so good. I was mad. I was so mad at how good it was. I won't spoil it, and don't anyone spoil it in chat, because I know it's still in theaters and not everyone's had a chance to see it, and not everyone can see it in theaters. There's lots of things, so no spoil. Big spoil. I'll small spoil the things I like. I won't do anything. I won't talk about the plot or anything. Are there any dungeons? Are there any dragons? I will say there were no dungeons, only dragons, which is fine. I mean, it depends on how you define a dungeon, right? But it's so good. I was just very blown away with how they captured the sort of chaotic good energy of your typical D&D campaign. It's okay. Honestly, I think that was the right choice. I think it was the right choice. Well, the reason why I was surprised by it was like, you know, if you're going to see this movie and you've never played D&D, the title says Dungeons and Dragons, then most people would assume that that's literal. It's not literal. There's no dungeons. Not well, I mean, kind of. Again, it kind of depends. There's like maybe one dungeon that's kind of has like a couple of dungeony things. All right, I take it back. It depends on how you define a dungeon. Yeah, what Kama said, 100%. They say, I like the way the characters explain their backstories like D&D character backstories might be written. It was great. There were a lot of nods to like tropes in D&D without being too tropey. Like the paladin was insufferably like righteous, right? Which I thought was hilarious. And what I like about it, and I think I saw someone ask in chat if a non-D&D person would enjoy this movie. I think yes, because they did a good job of doing nods to Dungeons and Dragons, not just like the lore of canon Dungeons and Dragons, but also the feeling of playing D&D and sort of, again, these sort of meta tropes that if you play a lot of D&D you're used to, like paladins are righteous and annoying. They played into those tropes while not making people feel like you can't get the joke. Do you know what I mean? It didn't feel like super in-jokey. Like I could see someone laughing at this super righteous man, like walking in a perfectly straight line, because it's funny. It was kind of slapsticky, funny on its own. I think it's more enjoyable if you have a deeper layer of understanding of like the references, you understand the spells, you understand like the classes, but they do a good job of explaining them. They don't just like throw out the term druid. They say, oh, she's a druid, and then they pan to her like turning into animals and stuff. So even if you're not familiar with all the nuances of like the druid class, you can be like, oh, she's animal girl. That's a druid in this world. Like you could, like they make that connection, which I think is really cool. I want to talk more about this movie, but we also have a lot going on in chat. So let me catch up on chat real quick. But I have so many thoughts, and I can't believe I made it through a whole week of streaming without talking about the gosh darn Dungeons and Dragons movie. Heck. I can't believe it. Okay, let me catch up on chat. I will let you know for sure. Also gonna, oh no. I'm gonna guess since it's the second weekend it's been out that to go out late you'll be fine. Yeah. I'm cool with like an audience full of children as long as it's not like mobs of children. It was like, there were like 4 birthday parties going on at once and I could not handle. I drew the line at multiple birthday parties happening all at once. It's fun, nostalgic, and a very basic story. Do not go in thinking it's gonna be Puss in Boots or the Spider-Verse. Got you. I was gonna go in ready to make fun of it, but I've heard it's actually like pretty good. And I find the casting hilarious, so that's enough for me. Pagminton says, my favorite is Through the Ages. Hell yeah. I also love Codenames Duet more than Codenames. Interesting. We've been talking a lot about Codenames Duet on the channel. I played some Codenames Duet with my friend James this Tuesday. But that's awesome. Thank you so much for finding the Twitch channel and hanging out with us, Pagminton. I hope you have a good time here. I appreciate it. Low Beer, welcome to chat. It's nice to meet you. They say question of the day. Honorable mentions to Innis and Heading Forward. I have never played Heading Forward, but I will shamelessly pander to CG by saying Galaxy Trucker. I love the timed, simultaneous action shipbuilding phase and then watching everyone's goofy ships fly around. Best part. It is fun to lose, i.e. getting blasted off your ship. Oh, hell yeah, Low Beer, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that you enjoy Galaxy Trucker. That really was, I mean, again, not to pander to my own company as well, but like Vlada definitely was ahead of the curve with a lot of really unique mechanics. That like simultaneous building thing has been done since then. Like you see with Fit to Print's got a very similar layout. But like, yeah, Galaxy Trucker really was one of the first games to do that type of structure. So I'm glad to see it got a little love, and I'm really glad that you're still enjoying it to this day. That's awesome. And it's like you don't even board game stream for a living. Question of the day, Portal. Ooh, okay, you cheated. It was supposed to be board game, but Portal's fine. Oh, wait. Oh, Portal, the uncooperative cake acquisition game. Wait, does Portal have a board game? Wait, did I yell at you too early? Features a moving board, and it feels very puzzly without being slow. There's a Portal board game? I have such a blind spot for like IP licensed board games. I really, really do. You yelled too early? Damn it, I'm sorry. That's a common occurrence here. I'm so sorry, I take it back. I was so ready to yell at you for not reading the instructions. Oh, that's cool. Every video game is bored now. I'm ready to keep up. I'm trying. Well, my partner and I love Portal. If people say it's good, I could see the Portal board game being good, you know? I could see that being good. Some video game IPs, I'm like, nah, it's just a reskinning, you know? You're just taking a board game and slapping on this theme, but I could see like the mechanics of Portal translating really well. Yeah, see, I totally missed the Skyrim board game until someone mentioned it a few months ago. Whoosh, just whoosh. It's not very popular, but yeah, there is one. I love the graphic design. Ooh, okay, I'll have to check that out because I could actually see myself picking that up depending on like what the mechanics look like. It may be blasphemous, but I haven't played a lot of board games. My first non-Monopoly / Scrabble game was either Catan or Carcassonne. Those are real board games. During lockdown, I played this card game where the cards ask very personal questions and the person who pulled the card gets to choose who answers it. There's a limited use X card too. I don't remember the name of that game though. Huh. It kind of sounds like it's kind of a funny story, but I'd be surprised if that's what it was. I don't think it was out then. But that's okay. One of the things that's very important to me with this channel is that if you don't play a lot of board games, I don't want people to feel like, I don't know, they can't participate or like that they should feel ashamed. Board games are expensive and they're hard to get to the table. You have to have a lot of people in person to play them. You gotta have a lot of free time. You know, it's a tricky hobby. It's not an easy thing to get into. So like there's no, what'd you say? Blasphemous. There's no blasphemy. There's no shame. We all just are here to hang out. Sunshiny, welcome on in. It's good to see you. But while we're chit-chatting, because I got a lot to talk about, we are working on the Galaxy Trucker puzzle today for the morning segment. If you've never been here for a Friday stream before, Friday I am live pretty much all day for my the greater chunk of my Fridays, I am live. We start typically in the morning with something sort of crafty, sort of chatty. This is my built-in time in the week to just talk to you guys because I like it and it's nice. It's usually either mini painting or doing a puzzle or something similar like that. And then in the afternoon, I typically do a big group party game. For today, it's going to be some Codenames co-streaming. So if you're a Codenames fan, be sure to stick around. It'll be in about 2 hours from now-ish. Yeah, we'll be playing some Codenames today. We do this thing called Codenames co-streaming, where I get a bunch of my friends who also stream, and we all play Codenames and stream it together. So you can hop around from stream to stream to see everyone's like perspective on the game. It's a lot of fun. I'll explain later today. But basically what we'll do is we'll work on this puzzle for a couple hours. I'll take a little lunch break, set up, and then we'll play Codenames for a couple hours. It's one of my favorite things. I love Fridays. I could just hide from all of my work responsibilities and just stream with you guys. So that's what's gonna be on the docket for today. The puzzle that we're working on right now is the cover of Galaxy Trucker. After 3 arduous streams that were torturous and painful, I finally completed the border, which, yes, it took me, like 6 hours? I wish I was joking, and I'm also not entirely sure that it's correct. I wish I could tell you with the utmost certainty that this border is done and fine, but there is a very real percentage that some of these are in the slightly wrong spots because it's just like a blue gradient. So we're ignoring it for now. It fits together, it looks kind of right, so we're gonna leave it. We're now working on the logo. We've got the big A here, we've got Vlada's name. You'll notice that this is not probably the best reference ever because this is the Jigsaw puzzle box. Let me grab this instead. This is the cover that we're doing. You see it actually has the designer's name there. There we go. Got Vlada right there. That's what we're working on right now. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. Aw, Oakley, thank you for saying you love these streams. I'm glad. I'm glad y'all haven't gotten sick of me doing puzzles and talking, because that's what Friday mornings are for. So I'm gonna start kind of sifting through while we're chit-chatting to try to make some progress on this puzzle. At the end of last stream, I went through and sorted out all the pieces that look like they have this yellow of the logo in them. I think there are some imposters here that don't belong, but I tried to get everything that might eventually belong in the logo. So I grabbed all that. We do have a grid that's super duper ugly, but it helps you all tell me the pieces you think are missing. So you can use this grid that is overlaid across the screen to be like, oh, I think it's G5, that's the piece you're missing. And you can communicate to me in that way if you'd like. If you want to help me work on this puzzle, that's like a common language you can use to help me. Let me scoot this up a smidge. There we go. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. Hondra, welcome on in, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Bloody Lion, good morning. Oh, Check Games Edition, I totally come here all the time and spend my actual adult monies because I hate everything you do. Wow, what a weird choice, Arliel. What a strange decision to make. Also, mods, thank you for catching and calling that out. I appreciate that. Oh, I love you. Oh my God, I love my mods. Thank you for supporting them, everybody. What good beans. Thank you for being here, everybody. Seems like it's just a yellow puzzle. I wish. All right, what else did I miss? My most unique board game is Hanabi. Oh, Hanabi's a great answer. It's also the most addicting game ever, yeah. No, Hanabi is great. James Blake says, oh, right, I have to tell you, I finally found the best gift for my mom this year. I got her, for her latest birthday gift, an Animal Crossing puzzle. That's delightful, James. I hope your mom likes it. Does she play Animal Crossing? Oh my God, please tell me your mom plays Animal Crossing. My favorite thing ever is like adults, like older adults to elderly people, that range of ages playing video games. It's my favorite thing ever. I always get recommended like old ladies who play Switch games and stuff on like TikTok. It's so cute. It's so cute. I want that to be me. We played Animal Crossing for months during the pandemic. James Blake, that's so cute. That's so cute. I love that so much. I actually tried to get my mom to play Animal Crossing. If you don't know, I actually play a lot of video games with my mom. It's like kind of a tradition that we started when I was in college. Do you qualify as an old person, elderly person? I'm talking like 60 plus, I think. I entered the stream on Animal Crossing. Lex Retro, welcome on in. Thank you for joining us. Lex, how are you? Super good to see you. Yeah, so if you don't know, I actually play, I'm gonna try to, just so I tell you guys what I'm doing while I'm doing it, I'm gonna try to separate out the lighter yellow pieces from these darker orange ones, because there's kind of two different hues. And I think that the darker ones come in kind of at the bottom. So I'm gonna try to separate them maybe? Or maybe we just wing it. Maybe we just wing it, I don't know. But I'm gonna try to separate a little bit. But yeah, I play a lot of video games with my mom. Cause she's big board gamer, right? And for the longest time, she had a big bias against video games. She was, you know, of that generation that like, I don't know, didn't grow up with video games, but saw it like, I don't know, rot the brains of children, and or like didn't even see it rot the brains, but like didn't know the effect it was gonna have on kids, you know. So she's very like skeptical of them, doesn't really respect them. She was of kind of that generation, and I was like, Mom, my mom's a huge gamer. I was like, you would love them if you just like tried, you know, if you played some really good like artistic narrative video games, I can change your opinion on them. And my mom is the bomb, so she agreed, and we've played a bunch of video games together, and now she loves them. Now she loves video games. She plays like Dorfromantik every single day. She loved, like, we played Night in the Woods. We did Detroit Become Human. We did Life is Strange, Firewatch. We did a ton. Quaid Rain, welcome on in. Quaid, how are you? I feel like it's been a hot second. Hope you're doing well. Played a ton of video games with my mom, and now she loves them. And I tried to get her to play Animal Crossing New Horizons at the start of the pandemic, but I did a whoopsie when I was describing it to her. I described, you know, it's the type of game you're supposed to check in on every day because you get like rewards. And my mom freaked out. She freaked out at that concept because she is like familiar with the concept of like app games that like trick you into coming back every day and are like really addictive. So she's under the impression that that's what Animal Crossing New Horizons is, and I couldn't undo that impression on her. She thought it was like one of those gacha games because I was like, it's cool, it gives you like an incentive to like check in every day and your little guys. And I could see how maybe that description triggered some alarm bells for her. I did a diddle that can't be undid. Yeah, I did. It was bad. I couldn't. Why are we timing out Meryl? Meryl, stop being a bully. Oh, are we outing? What's happening? I'm being older than Leon here? I'm totally leaving. Wait, are you bullying Leon for being old? What's happening? Oh, your mom be gaming? Yeah, she do. My mom do be gaming. I love her so much. I think maybe possibly I might be able to take her to like a board gaming retreat with me soon, and I'm really excited. But we'll see if it can happen. Okay, Genuine won the piece at A10 goes to the top right of letter A. The piece at A10, this guy, goes at the top of the A. Ooh, good find, Timothy, well done. Y'all are so much better at puzzles than I am. Constantly pushing Plate Up on my friends as a fun co-op multiplayer game. I need to play Plate Up. I'm assuming it has a similar vibe to like, Overcooked? Yeah, thank you. I got there eventually. Hexstar, welcome on in. Happy Friday. What's up? But anyways. Tried to get my mom to play Animal Crossing New Horizons. She is under the impression that it is a mobile gacha game, so now she won't play it, which I'm very sad. I don't know that she would have liked it anyway. She likes things that have concrete stories to them. I don't think the concept of sort of making your own story and making your own narrative really appeals to her that much. So I didn't die on that hill by any means. But yeah, Play games with your mom if you've got a cool mom. You should. It's really fun. It's a lot. Like she can't use a controller to save her life, but I can control it and have her make all the decisions. Oh, I did Papers, Please with her recently, which was a lot of fun. I put the game up on our TV, right? So I was in the back of my computer, put the game up on the TV. She sat right up there and she would like point. She'd be like, oh, the birth date doesn't match, and she would like point and tell me what to do, and I'd be in the back like doing it for her. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. My mom is the heckin' bomb. I love her so much. My God, mom has been playing games with us since the Sega Genesis. Hell yeah. OMG, Ray, that's adorable. It was really cute. And she gets very, unsurprisingly, because she's my mother, I get it from somewhere, she gets very stressed. She like starts freaking out. My mom and I are very, very similar people. My mom is basically me, just in an older body. And so she'll freak out like when the alarm starts, like in Papers, Please, if you are unfamiliar, you're operating as like a border control agent in like a fictional Berlin Wall type society, right? And so every now and then there'll be like an attack on the border control and everything will lock down. You'll have to like shoot some guys, and she like freaks out. She will like duck because she knows that I'm behind her like controlling it so that I could like see better. It's super cute. Super cute. We haven't finished it yet because we did it when I was up for vacation. We just didn't have time to play the whole thing. Yeah, she loves Potato Man. Potato Man's her favorite. She won't let him in though. I keep trying to get her to let him in with his fake passports, and she's very strict. She takes it very seriously. Yeah. True Guard, welcome on in. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that follow. Feel free to jump in chat and say hey, or just lurk, whatever you feel like. Sorry, I was reading James Blake, who says that their mom has been playing games since the Sega Genesis days, but Animal Crossing was always her favorite when we got a GameCube. That's so cute that she was playing Animal Crossing on a GameCube. I'm gonna cry. I love gaming moms. I love old gaming moms. They're my favorite thing ever. I want to be one. It is all I hope I achieve in life. Ugh, I saw this video, I got this video recommended to me on TikTok the other day of this old lady in like a nursing home, and her husband gifted her a Switch for her birthday, and she's like crying, she's so excited, and the caption was like, he has no idea what it is and why she's so excited. I think that's so cute. Old people joy makes me so happy. So cute. That's awesome. My mom is too old to like games, but we play Love Letter really often. Oh, that's awesome. That's great that she can grasp Love Letter. I should play Love Letter with my mom. She's never played it. Shout out to older gaming moms. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. Maybe that's what I should do, is I should make like old people accessible video games. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Hexstar says, oh, did Ray play Return of Obra Dinn? It's by the same guy who did Papers, Please. It has a soft spot for me because I think my dad would really enjoy it. Hexstar, you've activated my trap card. Return of Obra Dinn is one of my favorite games of all time. I absolutely love that game. Absolutely love that game. I tried to get my mom to play it. The hard thing is my mom has some issues with her eyes, and the graphics in that game were a little bit tricky for her to like get and like see and not have it strain her eyes. I love Return of Obra Dinn so much. Maybe I'll try it with her again. We didn't really, I don't know, for whatever reason. I didn't push it very hard. So good. Return of Obra Dinn is one of my favorite games of all time. I will not shut up about it. Yeah, it's a little bit, it's the graphics are a little bit hard. She has issues with her eyes that make it a little bit difficult. Alcohol, yes! Oh my god, please. It's literally so good. Sunshiny, thank you for that gifted sub. Thank you for supporting the moderators. I appreciate it. If you're new around here, because we got a couple of new follows this morning. If you're new around here and you did not know, all the money that we make on this channel from subscriptions and bits, it all goes to my moderators, Alkali, Chicken, Barb, and Bloody, for being wonderful. All right, I think I've separated these out pretty good. I'll try to spread them a little bit. Let's deal with these lighter colored ones, because I think those are the ones that are gonna be higher up on the logo. And these guys are not for now. All right, so go ahead if you can and you feel like it. You can use this grid to help me fill out this logo. I'll try to spread them out a little bit more. All right. So we got a G that's gonna be over here eventually. Maybe I might turn this for me, just for my own. Just so I can read better, but maybe not. Maybe I leave it. Maybe I don't touch it. Oh, have a good lurk, Marilyn Bloody. I hope you have a good, God, is it already dinner for you guys? No, it has to be lunch, right? Yeah, it's too early for dinner. Well, no, okay, no, it's probably dinner. Yeah. Time change is weird, everybody. All right, I'm gonna try to find this guy. It should have a yellow stripe that kind of bisects it pretty cleanly. And kind of maybe like, and it shouldn't have a white line. See how this is yellow and then a white line, right? This is yellow and then no white line. Right, what time do you eat dinner? Okay, if you don't know, I definitely talked about this on stream before, but if you don't know the answer to that, I would love people to, that should fit, and it makes me really mad that it doesn't. But it's something very similar to this. I would like people to guess, what dinner time energy do I give off? This is an important question to me. What time would you guess I eat dinner? 9 or later, wow. 4:30 or 8 or nothing else, 9, 7 to 8, 3 p.m. I think Ray, it's an old person time, like 5, 6. Interesting, interesting, interesting. 7:13 except on leap day, very specific, love it, love it. Where on God's green earth is this piece? Because it's basically exactly like this guy, but different, but it's like cut slightly. Oh, is it this guy? Is it this guy? Is it this guy? Yeah, we got it. Boom. Depending on Ranch's schedule. So the answer, this is exactly what I expected. I expected people to assume me as an late dinner time, little goblin energy. A little goblin energy eating at like 9 or 10. I am the opposite. Alkali is correct. I eat at old person time o'clock. I eat at like 5 p.m. every day. Unless my stream goes late or something, or if I'm cooking something that requires a lot of energy. If I have my way, I am a 5 p.m. dinner girly. I'm the early bird special every goddamn day. But I feel like I give off don't feed her after midnight energy. Like I eat at like 11. I feel like that's the energy I give off. It could not be further from the truth. I'm very food, like, I get very like anxious. I want my food as soon as I'm done with work. I'm like, okay, it's food time now. Time to nom nom nom. I get very stressed if I have to eat past 6 p.m., 6:30. I start to get very like hangry and cranky. I become significantly less fun after 6:30. Huh. I need to find a really skinny top piece. Maybe kind of like, but it needs to match the A. So it's gonna be mostly yellow with like a little bit of dark blue. A really skinny bit. I could see you getting hangry after 6. You gotta stay well fed. I do. I'm very habitual with my eating. That's the thing. Is I'm a habit person when it comes to my food. Like I eat the same thing for breakfast every day. I eat the same thing for lunch every day. And dinner, we get a little wild. We get a little crazy. Eat something different every night. But it needs to be in the window. It needs to be in the 5 to 6:30 window. And if Rancid were here, he could do a test to my hangriness. HTRU, thank you for that follow. Welcome in. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but feel free to jump in chat and tell me how you'd like to be addressed. Dude, I'm so jealous of your pizza bread. Chicken was talking about that before the stream yesterday. It sounded so good. I would love to learn how to make some pizza bread. Ray, I bet you could watch. Ray, I bet I could watch you watch paint dry. Oh, bloody. That's very nice. Heck, I appreciate that. Dinner time is fun from a cultural difference aspect. Oh yeah, totally. It is completely an arbitrary concept. Also, I want to read Anxious Gale's comment before it gets too buried. Anxious Gale, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Happy Friday. They say, sorry, I know the subject has already changed. Don't be sorry. I have ADHD. I jump from topic to topic every 2 seconds. You were all good. You were always more than welcome to jump back to something, oh God, that I was talking about previously, because I am a little squirrel with a little squirrel brain. They say, I tried to get my mom into video games too. The thing is, her English isn't the best, so no story-based games, got you, are translated into our native language. So I let her try Unpacking. Oh, that was a great choice. She was okay with it, but stopped at the second apartment, lol. Tried Portal as well, but she couldn't understand the controls. Oh, Overcooked and Keep Talking Nobody Explodes were the best so far, but still meh. Oh, interesting. I'm surprised that you went with something stressful like Overcooked or Keep Talking. I'm trying to think if I have any suggestions for you. Unpacking was a great option. I'll think about that if I've got other, not language-based, right? But nothing too complicated. I mean, again, my brain goes to Dorf Romantic because we were playing it recently, but I don't know if she doesn't like that sort of optimization, board gamey type feel, she might not like it. I'll think about that though. That's tricky, because the way I got my mom into video games was by going for really strong narratives, really compelling stories, because that's what my mom likes. I mean, my mom is a writer, you know? And so that kind of thing, it helped her get over her bias to it when she realized that video games can be a really powerful medium for truly amazing stories. That's when she kind of got the vibe, you know? If I had to not give her a story-based game, I think it would be a lot harder. That sucks though, that your native language doesn't get a lot of translations. That sucks. I am sorry to hear that. All right, one whole internet point for anyone who can find me this piece, because I'm getting really annoyed with it. I don't know where to find it. Heck, I'll give you $1 whole. It might not be out. I might have missed it in the box, but I tried to be pretty careful with getting all the yellow pieces. But I have said that before, and it has been a lie in the past, so maybe I shouldn't focus too much on just one. Barb, what is going on? What is Barb talking about? Hold on. I feel like Algali and Barb are planning something, and we should all get out while we can. Welcome back, Slivers. I hope your calls went well. I didn't think that was possible, Arleo. Sparkle-Eye feral hours. Jesus. I usually eat late at this point, but yeah, sometimes I eat dinner twice. See, that's the thing, is I need to cross over into like that, the adult freedom of like, you can eat whenever you want, there is no restrictions. I'm very much like, I need to have my 3 meals a day. And there's kind of no reason to eat whatever you want. Oh, maybe it's this guy. Maybe it's been under my nose all along. Ha ha ha, I find it. It's been under my nose all along. This is gonna be something, maybe this dark, but something very, very similar to that goes there, but a slightly lighter color. Maybe this guy? Yeah. No, never mind. Don't listen to me, I don't know what I'm talking about. I want to eat early because I live in Pacific time, but work Eastern time. Oh, that's rough, Kit Kat. I didn't know that. And I have to have 3 hours after eating before sleep due to reflux issues. Oh, bummer. My household typically eats 7 to 9. See, that makes me so stressed out, the concept of eating at 9 p.m. That's sleep-oo time. I'm in bed. I'm in my nightcap. I am all comfy cozy. Have you ever played or heard of the Millennium Blades board game? I believe Eric Yurko talks about that game a lot, but I have never played it. I am familiar. There's something about eating in the middle of the day that makes food taste better. I feel that. I got you. Again, I'm just very like habitual. I'm like, oh well, it's food time now. Where's my food? I'm like a cat. Does that actually fit there? No, it's a lie. That also feels like a lie. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. None of that actually fits there. It's all a lie, chat. Yeah, that makes sense about story-heavy games, and thanks for trying to help. I might show her Dorfromantik and see what she thinks. I mean, I did get her into board games, and it's good enough for me. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you won at least one of those battles, either getting her into board games or getting into video games. If she does like board games, though, I think Dorfromantik might be a good one for her. I would at least give it a try. It's a pretty cheap game. Hard time like imagining what this piece is gonna be. It's gonna be mostly yellow, right, with like a little nubbins right here, and then maybe a little bit of black as well on the side where the hole in like in between the legs of the A. You know what I mean? What's happening? My spouse is younger than me, and he's been gray since his early 20s. See, I think gray hair is really cool. I am not. Whoa, sorry, I just hit my mic. Sorry if that was really loud. I mean, I say that now. It might change when I actually get old, but I am not like dreading my hair going gray. I think gray hair is really, really beautiful. My partner also started getting grays in their early 20s. It's more common than you think. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I feel like it's more common than you think because for the longest time, the societal norm was, you know, you have to cover it up, you know? So I think there's been sort of a cultural misconception about how early a lot of people go gray, because most people who go gray really early get it covered up. So it like you don't see a lot of young people walking around with gray hair because a lot of them will get it covered up if that is the case for them. But yeah, no, I have no like fear about going gray. I think gray hair is really beautiful. I dyed my hair gray like in my early 20s. I had gray hair for a long time. It was more of like a silvery gray, but I think it's just a really striking color. But I totally get that like some people don't want it, and that, you know, for various personal reasons. It's everyone's personal choice, but I think it's really beautiful. And I always find it very striking when I see a young person with like a full head of gray hair. I think it's really beautiful. Is that true, Zonda? That's cool. G7? All right, G7. Oh, this guy? I don't think so, Barb. I think it's gonna be later. See how it's like a little bit more orange than what we're working with right now? But good try. I appreciate the attempt. Dang, I know, bummer. Yeah, it looks like it's something a little bit more complicated of a letter. I'm at a stoplight, Meryl. Why are we talking about gray hair? I love the relationship of Meryl and Bloody like talking to each other in chat. It's super cute. Having played a bunch of older characters in theater shows growing up, I got to see the best way for me to go gray. Luckily, it is happening that way. Oh, nice, from the temples first. Yeah, totally. I think it's just like, I think it can be like, it can be like very chic, you know, very mature, just, I don't know, really beautiful. Anyone can make anything work with the right confidence, you know? And I'm all for anything that encourages, especially women, to embrace their natural bodies and not cover up natural processes if they don't want to, you know? Oh, is it this? It's gotta be something kind of like this piece with a similar pattern. I think it has to be. That looked right. Oh, maybe this? No, I've tried that before, I think. B12? B12? So one of these guys? Nah, I think I put these guys here because I've tried them before. They're my outcasts. Yeah, but that's like the right vibe, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit, unfortunately. But it's something like that with like a little tiny like black nubbins up here, and then mostly yellow, and then maybe a little bit of blue on the side where the legs are. Maybe I should move on. It will come to me when I am ready. Maybe I move on, but it's so hard to go to a new letter because you've got nothing to move to. Yeah, sure, I can turn it down. A wee bit. A wee bit. All right, that has been turned down a wee bit. I can turn it down a wee bit more, but I'll leave it at that for now. What's up, B? Welcome on in. How's it going? H2. Oh, there's so much in H2. H2. I don't think so. I corded out all of these because these are a much darker color. And I think everything in the word galaxy is pretty light yellow. Is that a yellow piece under the logo? Or is that part of the logo? Is that a yellow piece under the logo? Wait, what? Is it a yellow piece under the puzzle logo? I mean on the Twitch overlay? Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yes, I see. Let me get rid of that real quick. There is this piece under the logo. But I don't, maybe... No. B1? Oh yeah, no, that's what we were just looking at. Ugh. I'm gonna dye my hair at the beginning of May. I always wanted to dye my hair as a kid. Hell yeah, what color are you gonna do, Barb? Color hair is so much fun. So much fun. I will always enable people to dye their hair. It grows back. Do whatever you want. It's such a fun thing to do with relatively low commitment that can really change like your overall appearance. I feel like the piece is not there. All right, we can move on. I mean, there is always a chance that I just missed it when I was combing out all the yellow pieces out of the box. This guy? No. So it's always hard to jump from one letter to another. What color are you doing right now, Arliel? We can try to move over to the top of the G. So a piece that's got like a curved bit of yellow on it, mostly yellow with like a little bit of curve maybe. Maybe kind of like that, huh? Look at that. Sometimes you just gotta move on, you know? You gotta work with something else for a little bit. Give yourself a little break. What's up, Troy? Welcome back. Very good to see you. How's your Friday morning going? H11, somewhere around here. Bottom of the A. I think I've tried all these guys down here. I don't think this guy fits. That doesn't work there. I don't think so. Solid Friday, just ready for work to be done for the weekend. Hell yeah. Do you have any fun weekend plans on the horizons? Bottom right to top right. I'm not quite sure what you mean, movie. You gotta give me coordinates, otherwise it's a little bit tricky. Not C1. C1. This one? No, it's not C1. Oh, maybe it's C1? No, it's not. All right, I'm abandoning this for now. We're moving on. We're moving on. We're working on the G. We're moving on to greener pastures. I'm sick of this little nonsense right here. We're moving on. Never mind, 2 orange probably. Yeah, that's why I tried to get rid of the pieces that are orange because I think those are gonna come into play down here. I think most of just the word galaxy is this like light bright color. Welcome on in, Twister. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us. We're just working on the Galaxy Trucker puzzle today, hanging out, chit-chatting. If you're talking about the big new game announcement, that'll be next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. There's no announcement today. Today we're just hanging out, talking about board games, working on a board game puzzle, all that goodness. Yeah, Hunter, for sure. Definitely makes it tricky. I have jet black hair, so no color will work out without bleaching first. Yeah. Black hair is so cool though, because it makes for really good roots. If I was always jealous of people who had natural black hair, because this is not my natural color. Because if you can get it light enough with bleach to color it, it just makes for the most gorgeous like roots. I personally, on me, don't like the look of like brown roots on color, but black roots are so gorgeous, so gorgeous. My natural color is green. This is true. It's part of the lore at this point. What else did I miss? Chicken says, I also want to dye my hair, but I've been growing it out for like 9 years and I'm afraid I'll ruin it. That's scary. That is scary. If you're growing it out for 9 years, I definitely can respect that being a little bit of a scary jump. I'm afraid I'll ruin it and have to cut it because in the past, the lightest I've been able to get is a terrible copper color. Okay, well, here's what I'll say, maybe. I feel like hair coloring has come a long way in the last decade. So it might be worth it to try again because most of the hairstylists I go to can get you to at least a not brassy point. They might not get you platinum, but they can get you to a light enough color that you can then do something else over it. I mean, it might just be like a quirk of your hair is just really tricky. Oh, have a good lurk, Arleo. I hope you have a wonderful day with your kiddo. But like toners have become so good. I feel like if you haven't tried in 10 years, it might be worth trying again because I feel like we've made a lot of advancements. Don't give me hope, right? Okay, don't do it. Then don't do it. Your hair is long and beautiful and you love it and you should keep it that way. That's welcome to Ray's unsolicited advice. Welcome on in, Legends DM. We should do like a Ray advice column at some point. If anyone wants my very, very specific and unsolicited advice, I got you. Hunter is reposting, blah, blah, blah. Question of the day. Oh yeah, and if you're just joining us, our question of the day today is tell me about the most unique board game you've ever played. And you can define unique however you feel like it. And Hunter's answer to the question of the day is, so outside of all the unique with a capital U prototypes I've gone through, yep. Prototypes are different. It has to be like a published game, I think, because then it's stood up to a certain test. I think it would be Icarus: The Fall of Civilization as my first prompting game, or number 9. Ooh, number 9 I think is a great one. I've never played Icarus: Fall of Civilization, but I played number 9. I think that's a great answer. Bing, welcome on in. No worries if you can't stay. Thanks for swinging by and saying hello. Legends DM, welcome on in as well. Yeah, I haven't bleached/colored my hair in a while of yearly charity shaving. Oh, cool. I think this year will be 17 years. Wow. That's really cool that you've been charity shaving your head, Kit Kat. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for those of you who've been around for more than like 6 months, I used to color my hair all the time. I would do very different colors every like 6 months or so, and I don't want to speak too soon, but I think I might be done, which is like gasp, shock, horror. But I think I might be done coloring my hair, at least like regularly, because I really like the black. I like how easy the upkeep is. I don't know, it goes with more things. I know it's shock, gasp, horror, I know. But like it's been a long time since I've been like, oh man, if only I had blue hair, it'd be so cool. I really like the flexibility of the black. And I like it more. I don't think I'd ever go back to my natural hair color ever. My natural hair color is just like a mousy brown that it does nothing for me. It's got no zhuzh, it's got no inspiration. The black is really fun though. I don't know. It reminds me also a lot of like my mother. My mother has got short curly black hair, and so it makes me sort of feel more connected to her. I like that we, I mean, she doesn't anymore because she's gray now, but when she like, I look more like younger pictures of her, which is kind of fun. And I don't know, which is so weird for me because dyeing my hair was such a big part of like, I would hate to say like my personality because I had more important parts of my personality than that, but it was a very defining characteristic of me was that I would dye my hair all the time. Does that fit? Yeah, let's go. And I would always get very offended when people would tell me that I would grow out of it, you know? That used to be very annoying because I'm like, oh, no, I'll never grow out of it. I love dyeing my hair. And now I think I might have grown out of it. And I don't know, it makes me have an existential crisis. Have we tried G5? I know, sorry, we're talking about hair. No, you're good, Timothy. G5. G5, one of these guys. Where are we trying it, Timothy? I'm trying it on A. Like here? Yo, nice, Timothy. Well done. Oh, that also gives us some more information for this guy. Gives me like a little shape. Nice. Wait, the old school game Waterworks? I've never heard of that thing. I'm scared about dyeing my hair. IDK, what would look good? Well, what are we working with right now, Timothy? What do you got? What color is your hair naturally? So I think a lot of people are in for Ray's advice / column vlog. Hell yeah. If you've got any questions you want, I have uneducated answers for you. Hexter also says, I actually have a specific advice I want to ask Ray. Hell yeah. On behalf of my partner, if she's willing to entertain it sometime, I don't need to derail the stream at the moment. Listen, the Friday morning streams are meant to be derailed if you have permission to share whatever story it is. I'm down to chat about it. And give my advice. What's the best way to become ascended like you? Eat 4 eggs a day. That is how I achieved my greatness. You can too. Ooh, enjoy that gifted sub, Talier. Enjoy your rat jams and your ad-free viewing. How to get your smile so sparkling? Wow, that is a compliment I never, ever, ever thought I would receive. I don't know. Have I talked about this on stream? Are we gonna get emotional, chat? Are we gonna get in our feels for a hot second? That actually is a very, very kind compliment, V. It means more to me than I think you know, because I have been very self-conscious of my smile my entire life. I don't know if anyone's noticed, if anyone's paid enough attention, which like, not like, no, tis, pay attention, but like, it's one of those things that I think you notice more than other people notice when it's your body. But I had really, really, really crooked teeth for a really long time. And I had really crooked teeth for the majority of the time I was streaming. And my partner finally bullied me into getting Invisalign a couple years ago. Because it was the kind of thing that always just bothered me, but I was like, you know what, there's nothing I can do about it. Why doesn't this fit? This should fit. Hello? Hold on, is that actually a fit, or am I... Oh my God, is that not right? How is that not right? You're joking me. You're joshing me. Wow, that actually doesn't fit there. Okay, I'm exiling this piece. This piece does not go here, no matter how much I think it does. Let me find something else probably similar. But it was something I had just kind of accepted. I was like, oh, my teeth are always gonna be crappy. I can't afford it, you know. And then when oh no, we're not gonna get sappy, chat. Oh, there it is. That's the right piece. But when I got the CGE job, which unsurprisingly pays a lot more than my prior part-time job at a board game studio with 3 other people. The first thing I did, I got like my first paycheck from CG, and I spent the whole thing on getting Invisalign. Which is something that I had always assumed was going to be beyond like my means, and also something that was silly. You know, it was an appearance thing. I've never like judged or been against the concept of like any sort of cosmetic alterations, but I was like, oh, that's not for me. Like that to me, I was like, oh, that felt silly, waste of money for me personally. It's like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then I did it, and oh my god, the other day, so I've been on Invisalign now for a year and a half, I think. Talier, thank you for gifting subs to the community. Thank you for supporting the moderators. All that money you just donated will go directly to my wonderful 4 moderators. So thank you so much for being so generous. I really appreciate it. You're the heckin' best. And I've had it for about a year and a half. You'll notice I don't wear it on stream, which is tisk bad me. I wear it religiously off stream. I don't wear them on stream because I have a terrible lisp that I have not bullied myself into getting rid of. And like, I'll wear them in meetings, I'll wear them around, like when I have friends over, I don't care, but on stream, I notice it, and my job is talking, right? If my job wasn't talking, I don't think I'd care as much, but it drastically alters how I sound, at least I think, so I don't wear it on stream, so I'm not lying, I just don't wear them while I'm on stream. I had them for about a year and a half now, and I hadn't realized just how much my smile had changed. Not sponsored by by Invisalign, but I came across, I was going through my files because I was reorganizing how I was doing like my file storing from like convention footage and stuff, right? And I came across some videos that I took when I first got my ZV-E10, which is this camera here, learning how to use it. And it was me walking around my apartment, like practicing with the gimbal, practicing the autofocus. And I had one where I was like trying to figure out how to film myself, right? And it was really up close, and I had accidentally filmed it in slow motion because I had no clue what I was doing. So it's this slow motion shot of me, like a tight shot of my face, opening my mouth and smiling. And oh my god, my teeth were so bad. I had not really, now, here we can switch. Look at this. They're like perfectly straight now. These teeth were so crooked, and I did not realize until I found this old footage of me from like not even a year ago. Like my teeth were like this, right? And lots of people have crooked teeth, it's fine, but for me, it really bothered me, and I had gotten so used to it, and it's just like my smile has like totally changed. I look like a totally different person, like really up close, like when I'm smiling now than I did in that footage, and it just blew my mind. It just blew my mind. Oh, have good lurks, Troy and Kit Kat, no worries. So yeah, that comment means a lot to me. I smile differently because I'm less self-conscious now. Yeah, that's my little story. Yeah, it's a whole different thing when one feels comfortable smiling. Yeah, and it was something I was really self-conscious of because I have a bunch of siblings, right? And every single one of my siblings got braces except for me. We all have like similar teeth, and they all got braces except for me because when it's time for me to get braces, when I was in middle school, my mom got diagnosed with some really rough medical issues. So all of the money that we had went to deal with her. And so I never got braces, which is like, fine. I'm glad my mom's alive. Like it's a trade-off I would take any day. But it's like, you know, my siblings all have perfect teeth, and I still have these like genetic, just crooked teeth that we just all got from my parents. And so I would always be very self-conscious of it. And yeah, I thanks CG for investing in me so I could invest in my smile, because it makes me feel a lot better. So if you have the means and you just have it, if you have teeth that you're uncomfortable with, I would look into it. It was really embarrassing because, like, you know, braces are for kids, right? But the amount of adult Invisalign patients is actually amazing. It's like there's a ton of them. When I go in to get my like teeth checked and stuff, I would say 50% of the people that I see are adults. So it's obviously expensive. It's the reason why I didn't get it for a really long time. But if it's something like, if money's not the reason you haven't done it, if it's because of like shame or like you just don't want to invest in yourself, I don't know. I had a good experience with it. It's actually really cute. It's actually really cute because Rancid and I both have Invisalign right now. We go to the same provider because I went and he bullied me into getting Invisalign because he's like, Ray, you hate your smile. You've hated your smile since the day I've met you. You're uncomfortable when you smile. Like, let's invest in this. Like, when you get this new job and you get a little bit more money that you can actually do something besides pay rent and buy food, which was kind of all I was able to do before. Like, let's go invest in your teeth. So we did that. I was on Invisalign for a few months, and my partner started getting really bad jaw pain. Like, he was clenching and like clicking his jaw all the time. And I was like, your jaw is messed up. Like, we need to go fix that. Let's go to the orthodontist I go to, because like she can recommend a good like surgeon, because that's what we thought he was gonna need. And she was like, oh, actually this can be fixed with Invisalign, because basically he got braces and his teeth like kept growing after he got braces, so his jaw's kind of messed up. And Invisalign can fix that, which is wild. So we go to the same provider and we get joint appointments, and we're like little celebrities in the office, because we're like the little Invisalign couple. We come in with our little like Invisalign bags. We sit down in little joint chairs. And it was really cute when he called to be like, hey, like, I think I want to make an appointment. And he didn't say anything about me, because my partner's a medical student, so he was like, I shouldn't like, I shouldn't reveal like any extra personal information. I just call and make this appointment. And when he said his name, the receptionist was like, is your girlfriend Rachel? You should have said so sooner. We'll give you a discount. And Connor was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. What about HIPAA? And she literally was like, HIPAA schmippa. We'll get you a discount because she referred you. Super cute. So now we're a little Invisalign couple. Sorry for that incredible tangent. Just because V made a joke about my teeth, saying that they sparkled. There you go. But yeah, now we're a little Invisalign couple, which is, I don't know, it's cute. Hopefully his jaw gets unmessed up, because his jaw is majorly messed up now. Okay, on behalf of my partner, does Ray have any advice on handling transitioning from? I thought you said transitioning to a pirate, and I was like, listen, I don't know that I can tell your partner to be a pirate. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Private, not pirate. Okay. Transitioning from private unknown person having, yo, wow, resident, what's up, Olivia? Thank you for that follow. From private, okay, hold on. Let me put that on hold for 1 second, Hexstar. I feel like there was a ton of messages in chat that I totally missed. Okay, because that looks like that's gonna be a longer conversation. Let me scroll for like 2 seconds and just respond to some answers that I saw earlier. I'm probably still gonna miss something, but let me take a look. Oh my God, okay, there's so much going on. Oh God, stop being so interesting and funny and engaging, chat. Oh my God, I can't keep up. Meryl says, also I need some advice. I've had bangs for basically my entire life. Ooh, is this a bangs related question? I'm so ready. I've had bangs for basically my entire life. Well, not like Ray's, because my hair naturally wants to part in the front. Oh, cute, I like front parted bangs, those are really cute. But since 2020, I've grown it out, even though it was really annoying for like a year or so. I really like it now, but sometimes I think back to my bangs and kind of want to go back. But I know growing it out, again, is such a pain. Growing out bangs is a massive pain. Can't seem to make the choice. Okay. What kind of face shape do you have, Meryl? Are you round, square, oval, heart-shaped? That is, I think bangs are a big part of your face shape, whether or not bangs suit you or not. I mean, I'm also interested in Ray's advice on being a pirate for entertainment value. I thought it was like, my partner wants to leave me and become a pirate. What's your advice? I don't know that I was emotionally equipped to handle that question. But also, Olivia, thank you for joining us in chat. How's your Friday going? I gotta say, Olivia, it is weird to have the Resident account in here, because for so long that voice was like mine. So it's weird. It feels like I'm talking. I don't know. It's weird. But I'm glad to see you're active on the Resident account on Twitch. That's super cool. I think I have oval shaped. Interesting, oval shaped. I feel like, would you consider curtain bangs? So kind of like a compromise. So not like blunt straight across bangs like what I have, but again, sort of that middle part, especially if your hair already naturally middle parts. So something short that kind of frames your face but isn't like straight across. That's probably what I would do. So cut them a little bit short, get little framing pieces. You're talking to a mirror, Olivia's not here. That's not spooky at all. I can't stop playing a pirate game on my Switch for the last 5 days. Oh my god, I started playing oh god. I started playing Sea of Thieves recently, and let me tell you, I've never had a more traumatic gaming experience in recent memory. If you've never played Sea of Thieves before, it's an online multiplayer game where you're all pirates. It's side parts. It doesn't middle part. I've always had bangs. I've always had bangs. And always found the look great. If you like the look of bangs, go back, go do it. Get bangs again. That's my official advice. If you liked how you looked with bangs, I say do it. Also, what happened to my captions? Hello? Talk test 1, 2, captions. Talking, testing, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Let me know if those die again in the future, but hopefully they're, oh, come on. Don't be a butt. Hello, talk test. 1, 2. Talk. Hello, talk test 1, 2, captions. Why do you hate me? So annoying. I find that they're, for some reason, consistently worse when I'm over here than when I'm over there, even though the setup is exactly the same. Maybe I'll just do it. Listen. Yeah, they're being a bum. I'm sorry, caption users. Yes, why do you? I have a hard time giving a period, like haircut advice if I can't like see you. I don't know which suits you better, but if you like the look of bangs, I say go back to it. Yo, what's up, Felix? Thank you for that sub. Thanks for supporting the moderators. Dark Santanica, welcome on in. How's it going, Dark Santanica? Happy Friday. Welcome on in, Felix. We are doing Rachel's unsolicited advice column right now. Okay, I think I missed a ton of stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and answer Hexstar's question now before I forget. So they say, on behalf of my partner, does Ray have advice on handling transitioning? Oh, I was talking about Sea of Thieves. God, I am so ADHD. I'm so sorry. I want to talk about Sea of Thieves really quick, and then we can talk about Hexstar's question. Sea of Thieves is a multiplayer game where you're all pirates, right? And I was like, that sounds dope. I love pirates. Let's play this silly pirate game. We'll all drink and we'll sing sea shanties together, and it'll be hilarious. Ooh, nice. That does fit there. And we immediately got like real life bullied by 12-year-olds. Like immediately. My partner and I were just messing around trying to figure it out. We rolled up to an island, right, where there were other ships parked. We rolled up with our ship ready to like go make some friends. And they immediately like boarded our ship, killed all of us, and then you could hear them over like the comms be like, what, are you guys completely new at this game or something? As my partner and I are standing there in our base game clothing in the very first ship you get in the entire game, just like, yeah. But it's a lot of fun. Now we play with someone. We got one of our friends involved who really like knows how to play and is good at handling the mean 12-year-olds who bully us. Okay, now Hexstar's question. I love Sea of Thieves. It's extremely frustrating when your 3-hour efforts get stolen from your ship. Yeah, it's kind of brutal. Does Ray have advice on handling transitioning from a private unknown person to having various people suddenly know your name and who you are? Well, I'm assuming, because I believe Hexstar, you've talked before about how your partner is a designer, is a board game designer. Okay, so I have a couple of questions before I answer that, Hexstar. One, has this already happened, or is she anticipating it happening? Do you know what I mean? Like, where are we in this timeline? Is this already happening? Are people already recognizing her? Or is it like, oh, this game's gonna be popular and we're preparing for it? She has her first 2 board games being released announced towards the end of this year. Okay, so you would still say right now she's someone people don't know? Is that the vibe? Yo, what's up, Mallow? Welcome on in. Correct, currently unknown. Huh. That's a great question, Hexstar. Advice from going from unknown to known. I mean, I will say this. I think don't overestimate how much people care about designers. Like, if she doesn't want to be in the spotlight, she doesn't have to be there. I don't mean that in like nobody cares. People do care. if you're a designer who puts yourself out there. You don't have to though. Like there are plenty of designers. I mean, most famously, Vlada almost never does interviews. He's one of the most famous board game designers of all time. Most people don't even know what he looks like. If he could walk down the street at a board game convention, a lot of people wouldn't even recognize him because he doesn't do a lot of like public appearances and stuff. So like, you don't, it's not like, oh, as soon as I make a successful game, I'm thrust into the spotlight and there's nothing I can do. If she doesn't want to be public, she doesn't have to, but if she wants to, it can be a really fun part about designing. That can be super cool and super fun. Would there be advice for making that like transition? I mean, I would start, I don't know, if she wants to have like a community of people around her and she wants to kind of engage with the community beyond just like making this successful game, she can kind of start now before the games come out, like trying to engage more on like platforms like Twitter and on Facebook, making friends, making connections, before the games come out. So she sort of has a network. She can kind of vibe out who she really likes in the industry. Because especially if it's, you know, if the game becomes really successful or whatever, it's a big Kickstarter or something, she'll probably start to get bombarded with like media folks and stuff who want to review the game. And it can kind of sometimes be hard to make real friends in the industry once that kind of starts happening. You know, it can sometimes be hard to suss out who just wants to hang out and who is like kind of wants a free game. There's not like a lot of like insidious, you know, mustache twirling in board games, but a lot of people are here because it's their job and there's like a lot of networking, and sometimes it can be hard. Oh my God, is that Plat255? Oh my God, hi, I'm sorry. Plat has been a very, very long time viewer. It's been so long since you've been in chat. I love you. It's so good to see your username. God, I hope everything's been good with you. Thank you for stopping by. Oh my God. You've been in hiding. That's okay. Hiding can be nice. I hope you had a good time in hiding. I hope that was restorative and such. But yeah, again, it's not, nothing is like insidious, but like a lot of people are here to network, right? And sometimes it can be a little bit hard to differentiate between what's networking and what's like people want to actually be friends. So if she can maybe establish some friends and some networks of people before the game comes out, that can also help her navigate if all of a sudden she's getting a lot of attention, a lot of people want to be her friend or want to work with her or want to talk to her. It can be really helpful to have folks who are already public figures in the industry sort of navigate maybe some bad actors or some people who, I mean, it's a small industry. The vast majority of people you're going to meet in this industry are delightful and wonderful. But as with any small creative industry, there are some sort of like whisper networks of like people who maybe try to take advantage of other people or people you should maybe stay away from. Again, there's not a lot of it, but it can be helpful to have folks who kind of know their way around a little bit to help guide you. Because anytime you're in an industry that is so passionate, right? Everyone who's in this industry is here because they love board games. It can be a fear that you're gonna get. Oh my God, hi Tony, thank you for that Prime sub. There is always that sort of lurking fear of being exploited, like your passion being exploited, right? Because you care so much, you want to do it so badly. Sometimes that can get taken advantage of. So it can be nice to have folks in your corner looking out for you, helping you navigate that. That's my long-winded answer to Rachel's unsolicited advice corner. Make some friends before it happens. The best way to do that is to chat with folks online. So whatever her preferred method of like community engagement is, whether that be Discord, Twitter, Facebook, BGG. I think one of her concerns is a small percentage of loud negative voices, especially that might have misogynist undertones. Like, let's check people's questions, reviews on BGG of my game and seeing bleh. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen again. That's where a good support group of people around you is gonna be really helpful. Going into that experience with people who have your back, also people who have been there before. So finding other women in the industry, she's always welcome to reach out to me and talk to me about it. I don't wanna recommend other people because, you know, that's their own decision to make. But if she introduces herself, you know, in the industry online somewhere, there is a very strong kind of underground group of women in this industry who all support each other, and they will help her, they will find her if she puts herself out there. Yeah, so that, I mean, it's hard, it's like, make friends, okay? Like, that's easier said than done. But that would be my advice, is find people who can be in her corner ahead of time, because you can't avoid negativity in any space. And yeah, getting yourself prepared and surrounded by people who've got your back and can kind of tell you to tune out those voices could be really helpful. So she's always welcome to reach out to me. You have my Discord if she ever needs advice on just being a new woman like in this space. I'm always here to chat, and that goes for anyone who's looking for that kind of advice. But there's lots of other people as well who are in more of the designing side of stuff than myself. But yeah, Tony says all the meetings, business, numbers. I actually just got out of a meeting. Nice, Tony. That sounds like no fun. My job is to sit here and do puzzles and talk about nonsense. Tony, do you have any advice you want from Ray's Unsolicited Advice Corner? That's what we're doing today. Oh my goodness, Platt, it's so good to see you in chat. Oh my god, welcome back from your unlurk, bloody. Wasn't that technically, it was totally solicited advice, but I think it's snappier. Right, this is sort of a meeting too, is it? Ew, I don't want to ever conceptualize streaming as a work meeting. No fun, no fun. Ah, it's so good to see you, Platt. I really do hope you've been well. We have missed seeing your face around here. I guess we could call it Ray's Solicited Advice Corner. That's cute. I like that. More accurate. Do you have advice that I ordered smoke scotch during our first date? Do you have advice that I ordered? Dude, what? Tony, what? Oh, do you advise that I order smoke scotch during our first steakhouse meeting, Gamma? Tony, we can't talk about alcohol here. Stop that. Different advice. Unsolicited advice, fantastic. Arliel, thank you for that gifted sub to Platt. Holy heck, 71 gifted subs, what a legend. Thank you so much, Arliel. What a queen. Thank you so very much. Thank you for supporting the moderators. If you're new around here and you're lurking and you don't know, all that money goes to my mods. I don't keep it, Tony doesn't keep it, CGE doesn't keep it, my mods keep it. And Barb feeds her cats, and Alkali buys games, and it's a nice time. And you should support them in those endeavors. Nah, yeah, exactly. Stream's just a party. I'm not seeing. I'm running out of like these little lion boys. Yo, Platt! Thank you so much for that gifted sub. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the generosity. I appreciate it so very much. But if no one else has more solicited Ray of advice, I want to go back to talking about the Dungeons & Dragons movie, because I talked about that earlier and then I got distracted. So I would love to hear people's spoiler-free thoughts on the D&D movie, because I was genuinely very, very impressed. Tony, I don't know if you've seen it, but I think you in particular would really like it. It's got good Tony vibes. Yeah, there we go. Welcome to chat, Ezra. I'd love to hear more game companies moving the networking and business parts of the industry away from bars and drinking. Totally agree, Ezra, totally agree. I think there definitely is a push for that to happen. I think a lot more of the official meetings these days are less involved in that. There will always probably be informal meetings that do revolve around that. But I definitely agree, Ezra, 100%. Just safer for all involved, I totally agree. Good Tony vibes. So Tony, you should watch it. You should watch it. It's very, very good. I want to go to the D&D movie still. Nella, thank you for the gift sub to Big Terp. Yo, Big Terp, I hope you enjoy your gift sub. If you're out there lurking somewhere, thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for the good vibes. Y'all are the friggin' best. And I love this community so much. Holy heck. But yeah, no, I was very impressed with, like, I love the way they took mechanics from real D&D and worked them into the story without it feeling cumbersome. One of my favorite moments, again, super light spoilers, nothing about the actual plot. Thank you, Platt. We got new music since you were last here. We got a new music provider. One of my favorite moments in the entire D&D movie was when there's one of the legends, thank you. There was a sorcerer, right? First of all, the sorcerer has wild magic, which is such a fun choice. Wild magic is so cool. I love it. Though, like the sorcerer character, I thought was really good, a really fun take on a sorcerer, because he's kind of self-conscious. He's not sure of himself, and I think typically when you think of sorcerers, they're very like mysterious and sure of themselves and whatever, right? Because it comes like the D&D has different classes get their magic. It can be brought down more. Heck, is it really that loud? I can turn it down a little bit more. Boop. Let me know if that's better. Different classes in D&D get their magic in a different way, and sorcerers are the class that just get it, right? Just like magically. So typically I interpret them very like cocky and confident. What I liked about it is that, as I mentioned earlier, there are some tropes that they really lean into, like the righteous paladin, but then there are other ones that they subvert. Like I really like how they wrote the sorcerer character. Anyways, there's a scene where the sorcerer character is casting a spell, right? And they get their foot caught and they lose their concentration and the spell gets all garbled. Like I like that concentration is a real mechanic in D&D. Some spells require you to be concentrated, and like I think the example that they give in like the player's handbook is if you're casting a spell and a wave hits you or something, if you get physically like moved or distracted, your spell stops. And I really like that they did that, little things like that. I played a sorcerer who wasn't a big reader. That's awesome. How was Chris Pine as a bard? Because I think that sounds hilarious. Chris Pine was actually great. I was very impressed with Chris Pine in the leading role. Also the supporting role, the barbarian character was fantastic. I also like they didn't do a lot of all the characters in the main party are all like pretty normal humanoid characters. They reference like Dragonborns and Aarakocras, but I'm glad that none of the main party were any of those like fantasy races, because the CGI was a little like you could see the Dragonborns in the distance, and I was happy with them being in the distance because once you got up close to them, very like animatronic and weird looking. But yeah, no, the main cast was really well done. It was composed of a really good group of people, like good personalities that played off of each other really well. But yeah, there's lots of like little nods to mechanics, like I mentioned with the with concentration. There was a couple of other moments like that I just really loved. I kept waiting for like them to break the wall, and it was the right choice not to, but I kept waiting for the stop, look up at the sky, like see a dice roll or something, and then continue. I'm glad they didn't do that, but it's almost like you could feel those moments. It was almost as if I could write in when the dice rolls happened, you know, when something just kind of happened in like a weird way, but it's like, all right, it worked, we're doing it, or something just failed randomly. Like it felt like you could feel those beats, even without canonically including them. Yeah, come on, that would have been so fun. That would have been so fun. And it also, God, that reminds me, because of the actual end of the movie scene that they do, I really liked how they did some tongue-in-cheek stuff with like specific spell wording. So there's a scene where they're trying to resurrect corpses, but they can only ask them like 4 questions and then the corpse dies again, right? And there's a scene where they only ask him 3 questions and he's waiting around, waiting for someone to ask him the 4th question. Could we possibly move away from the movie content? Spoilers and such? Okay, I'm sorry. It's just really good. It's really good and I really liked it. I really liked it. Try not to spoil any major plot points, but yes, I will try to be less spoilery. It's a sled. It's a sled. I don't know what a sled is. But it's very, very good. And I highly recommend it. I was very worried that it was gonna be too Hollywoody, but it's not. It feels like it has a lot of heart behind it. Yeah, I was happy with it. It was the first movie, spoiler, way back to Citizen Kane. Oh yeah. Well, let's not spoil Citizen Kane as well. My dad did spoil that movie for me and I was very mad. I was very mad. Oh, man, I'm stuck on this G though. I feel like this middle piece should be pretty obvious. I'm not finding it. Oh, maybe it's this? It's totally this, yeah? No, it's totally not that. Never mind. Ignore me. Yeah, I feel like the moratorium on spoilers for Citizen Kane. It is, you know what? You may be right there. It's gonna have like kind of a weird pattern on it. Is that the statute of limitations on spoilers? Is it a year? I feel like it's gotta be more than that. Welcome back, Barb. I already tried this, didn't I? I totally already tried that. Yeah, it's not that one. Maybe... No, it's not the right shape. This guy. Ah, there we go. There we go. There we go. The statue of limitations. Then there's like, it's gonna be mostly yellow with like a strip of gray on the side. Like, funny talking D&D here. I just did a stream playing computer baseball where we talked about D&D. I got to show off my super old RPG books. Oh, nice. Heck yeah. Have a good walk, movie. Thanks for hanging out. I feel like collecting old TTRPG stuff could be a really cool niche. Maybe this? I'm watching the stream on my phone, like I'm able to see all the pieces. Thank you, Bloody Lion. Thanks for all your help. Helping in spirit, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I like that, Barb. That's a nice way of looking at it. God, I want to get a dog so badly. Maybe I move on from the G? I don't want to move on from the G though. Maybe I'll move on to this side because this piece is eluding me, but I think I might be able to get at that one. It's gonna be kind of a weird looking one though. One rates for the best. Thanks, Bloody. Can't watch a thing twice and appreciate the second time. It's not a good piece of media. That's an interesting take, Barb. What's for chat? What's a movie you've seen? What's the single movie you've seen the most times? Because I think that's a really interesting benchmark for good media, sort of evergreen media, things that will live on for a long time, is if it's good multiple times through. Even if it's something that has like a big twist or something, I feel like it's best if you can go back and appreciate the twist more the second time. You know, I feel like that's an important element. The Lord of the Rings movie, hell yeah, Zonda, I appreciate that. I respect it. Very specific reason, but Fiddler on the Roof. Interesting. I used to watch a lot of Fiddler on the Roof when I was a kid. The Night Before Christmas. Nice. Coraline spooked me, Lex. I want to like Coraline, but there's something about like the claymation that freaks me out a little bit. It spooks me. The Dark Knight. Nice. Knight's Tale. What? Tony, I recognize that name, but I don't know what it is. I've never really heard of it before. You love spooky. I respect that. I want to love spooky. I want to be one of those girlies who like love spooky things, and I do to a degree, but like for me to rewatch a movie, it needs to sort of have some sort of comfort value to me, or like a plot that really, I don't know, grabs me, and Coraline to me is just scary. It's just scary. It's scary and upsetting, but I also only watched it as a child, and maybe as an adult, I would be less scared by it, you know? I love that for you though, Lex. That's cool. I've always been very jealous of like, I don't know, people who are unironically like into that sort of thing, because I think it makes you really cool and interesting. But I'm just a scaredy cat, as much as I like to pretend I'm not. All right, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and I will BRB chat. I'm gonna try to do a few more pieces before I take my lunch break. Probably the Disney Channel movie break. Also, hi Hama, welcome on in, happy Friday. About inline skaters. God, I feel like Disney has made a movie about if there's any obscure sport, there's a DCOM about it. I feel like that's just fact. Every day when I got home from elementary/junior high school, I'd watch it 2 or 3 times as I did my homework. I've seen it probably hundreds of times. Wow, what is it about it that you like, Hama? Are you an inline skater or do you just like the movie? I got so many questions. Melissa's question of the day, Unique Games family, homemade games. Oh, nice, which I only recall weren't so great, but I love how we all were and still are into playing board games. Mila, that's awesome. I made a lot of homebrew games when I was a kid. My mom used to be very annoyed because I would like change the rules as we went, but now look at me, Mom. I'm in the board game industry, so it all makes sense now. Drink your tea, Meryl. I also need to drink my tea. I still have a lot of tea left. What kind of tea are you drinking, Meryl? But I think in terms of movies I've seen the most, I think the single movie I've seen the most is The Princess Bride. I kind of had a similar thing to Hama, where every day after school, pretty much, I came home and watched The Princess Bride with my best friend. And whenever I had my best friend over, we would watch it together. It was just like what we did when we hung out. I stopped watching it as frequently into adulthood, but man, I watched it a few months ago with my partner because it had been a while, and man, that movie holds up so well. It's just so good. It's just, to me, that's like a modern classic. I love it so much. But if we're counting series, The Lord of the Rings is definitely up there. And then if we're talking TV shows for me, it's a toss-up between Gilmore Girls. I used to watch Gilmore Girls while I did my homework as well. That was a big one for me growing up, and like while I would get dressed in the morning. I used to have not even a computer, but I had a designated DVD player that had a little flip-up screen. So it was like this big chunky thing, right? That only could play DVDs. That had this tiny little crappy screen. I'd put that on my bed while I would get dressed every morning and watch Gilmore Girls. I've probably seen Gilmore Girls start to finish probably 10 times. And then second place after that would probably be Sex and the City. Because like Gilmore Girls was like my middle school, high school comfort show, and Sex and the City has become like my adulthood comfort show. I watch baking shows. Oh, nice, Barb. Food Network children are fine. There's 2 types of children. There's Food Network children, and then there's Animal Planet children. Those are the 2. Thank you for that follow. Dab, the BGN noob, the BG noob, welcome on in. If you're a board game noob, which is what I would assume that username means, welcome to the Czech Games Edition Twitch channel. We are very noob friendly around here. I hope you're having a lovely Friday. Thank you for that follow. Hama says, I was an inline skater when I was younger. It's something about the classic Disney trope of getting a group of friends working together trying to overcome a group of mean people in the movie. Plus, it had a great burn at the end that 13-year-old Hama loved about no matter how bad a day got for the hero guy, it was still a good day because he wasn't the villain guy. That's awesome. That's awesome. It does mean that I love CG. Hell yeah, Dab. Thank you for finding us. I'm glad you found us on Twitch. Welcome on in. I'd love to know what your favorite either CGE game is or just favorite board game in general. It's a really good way to get to know new people around here. Thank you so much for joining us. Currently, we're working on the Galaxy Trucker puzzle very, very slowly. I'm mostly just talking, but in theory, we're working on the Galaxy Trucker puzzle this morning. In a little bit, I'm gonna be taking my lunch break, and then we're gonna be playing some Codenames with some friends, and it's gonna be a nice chill time. Barb messages always make me giggle. It's because Barb is just naturally hilarious. That is her quirk, that's her talent. Funniest person I know, I swear to God. But yeah, no, Sex and the City, Gilmore Girls in terms of series, and then I think, Princess Bride for movies. But yeah, if you're just joining us, we're talking about a lot of things today. The official question of the day is, what's the most unique board game you've ever played? And then one of the other questions that's popped up in conversation is, what is the movie slash TV shows that you have seen the most times? Oof. Oof. All right, I want to get like a couple more pieces before I take my lunch break. But this G is really bugging me. It's really bugging me. Maybe, something like... No. Since pretty new to the hobby, I only have Codenames Duet, mostly just my wife and I at this point, but I absolutely love Underfalling Skies for my solo sessions. Dad, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're enjoying Duet and Underfalling Skies. Really, really glad to have you in the community. Hopefully we can find you other games that you enjoy. We do play a lot of 2-player games on this channel, so hopefully you can find something else to play with your wife. You've seen every episode of MASH 25 times. Wow, that's intense. I've been looking for that piece for too long. I'm going crazy where it is. Me too, Timothy. I'm starting to believe it doesn't exist. Starting to believe it's all made up in our brains here. But thank you for helping, Timothy. I appreciate that you're out there looking for me. Thinking back, Seventh Continent was super unique. Ooh, Seventh Continent, yeah, great answer. There wasn't anything like it when it came out. Colt Express is pretty unique and awesome. I've never played Colt Express. Could have been in the box, absolutely, chicken. 100% viable option that is just in the box. Definitely a possibility. Maybe this? No, it's not the right shape. But maybe like, aha! All right, there's one. I got one. Or on the floor, like with the Underfalling Skies puzzle, that was a nightmare. Oh my God. Yo, what's up? Feed me some Wawa. Come on in. Feed me some Wawa's here to save us. They're so good at puzzles. B9. B9 goes to G. Never mind. Okay. I will never mind then. So this inside of the G is gonna have 2 dark nubs on either side, right? I can even zoom in. 2 darker nubs, right? Then yellow in the middle, but it's gonna have like this little notch too. Huh. But mostly yellow, 2 little notches. We've got a lot of information about this piece, so we should be able to find it before I take my lunch break. Maybe this? No, it's something kind of like that. That wasn't super far off. G9/G10 isn't the G? Like this one? Isn't the G? I don't know if I have the right one or not. Oh, oops, sorry, I'm silly. No worries, Timothy, you're good. B9 and 10, okay, B9/10, so this one? Oh my God. Oh! Yeah, Timothy, thank you. Good job, Timothy. Well done. I don't know how long it would have taken me to try that one. So well done, thank you so much. D9 for that missing in the A. D9. I'm missing in the A. I don't think it's any of those. It's not this one. It's not, it can't be this one. Just the first 4 episodes of Fox Volant of the Snowy Mountain, probably 4 or 5 times. There's 80 episodes. The other way around, that first one. What was the first one? This one? Or no, this one was the first one I tried. I don't think so. But it's a good try. It's too dark, I think. I think it's like too brown. It doesn't pick up super great on camera, but from my vantage point, I don't believe that is right. So for those of you who are answering this question today, what is it about a TV show that makes you rewatch it? Is it like nostalgia? Is it like that it's comforting? Is it that it reminds you of like a specific time? What's the logic there? Oh, have a good lurk, Cornus. Thanks for hanging out. All right. Yeah, that A really is bugging me. That little bridge. But the bottom of this G should be easy. They should be like all curved pieces pretty much. I feel like it should be easy to find. But then every time I say that, it is never the case. It's never the case when I say that. We have so much information, I know. The movies I watch repeatedly are like easy to not pay attention to, but good enough to stay interested at any point. Yeah, totally. That's a great way to think about it. It's relaxing to watch something when you know how it turns out. Yeah. It's that comfort element. All right, we might call it here for lunch. I really want to find a couple more, but don't know how likely that is. We made decent progress. I wouldn't say we made great progress, but we made the G. We came into the stream with the A, and we're leaving it with most of the G. Is that right? No, it's not right. Lunchtime came so quickly. Thank you guys for bringing such fun conversation today. The morning half of the stream absolutely flew by. So thank you guys. All right, I'm gonna have to give up. But I get so like focused. It's really hard to pull yourself out of it. How far down does like the G go? Could this be? No. All right. It's not E7/E8, E7. It's not this one, I don't think. This I don't even think is in the logo. I think I pulled this one on accident. See how it's like kind of like here's a regular piece. See how those are like super different? I don't think. Oh, the other E7, E8. Ah, this one? This one's got like a weird color on it that I don't think makes sense anywhere. Yeah, it's hard to catch on camera, but it's got like a little bit of gray on it that I don't think makes sense for the G. All right, we'll call it there, chat. We'll call it there. Glad you had straws here. I know, well, we made okay progress. I'm proud of us. The logos are always harder than they seem. Maybe next time I'll go through and comb through the box again at the start of next puzzle stream. Gotta delete my internet. Oh no. All right, good luck, Aqua, with the start of your move. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break for lunch. Thank you all so much for hanging out and doing some puzzling with me. Whether or not you helped me with the puzzle or you just chatted with me and kept me entertained while I tried desperately to do more of this puzzle. Have a good night, Timothy. Thanks for hanging out. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a little break. I'm going to go make my lunch and get set up for Codenames, which will be starting in a little less than an hour. Don't worry, I won't be totally gone for the whole hour. I'll be here setting up. I can chat and talk, but I need to go make food to sustain myself, and then I will be back and we'll get set up. So please, if you can, leave the stream on in the background. It might be less entertaining for a few minutes while I make my lunch, but you can always play Chatman in chat, which !CM start, and you will get a random Chaos Names word formatted like Hangman, and you can collectively guess the different letters that you think go in there. You do !CM and then the letter you want to guess, and it runs just like Hangman. If you want to play Hangman with some cursed community generated phrases, you can do that. But yeah, keep us on in the background if you can. Vibe to some lo-fi music, and I will be back. Yeah, sorry, only mods can do CM start, but then CM letter is how you guess. And yeah, I will BRB. Thank you in advance for hanging out during the break, and I'll see you in a bit.